Of course, Easter is a celebration in German-speaking countries and also in Canada, which people enjoy very much because suddenly we have colors again and chocolates and everything. Everybody is just waiting for spring. So Ostern wird auch in deutschsprachigen Ländern gerne gefeiert, so wie in Kanada. I want to show you how to color some Easter eggs. I do have here a couple of examples which might be a little bit tricky at the beginning. And Germans like to use whatever idea they have. Here I have a loon, and here I have a little dwarf and a small mouse. So you can use whatever pattern you like and what you're comfortable with. So what will you need? So first of all, since we are working with watercolors, I need some paper so I don't mess up the table. Then I of course need an egg, and I don't like to work with a full egg. So what I'm doing, I'm using one of those thread cutters, which is very, very pointy, so maybe have an adult help you, and punch little holes into the egg on both sides. So make sure those holes are not too large, and then you can blow out the egg, and with the content of the little egg you can still make delicious scrambled eggs, so don't throw it away. Before you blow it out though, I want you to take some paper towel, put some vinegar on it, and wipe the egg before you blow it out with vinegar so it's clean, and when you touch the shell with your mouth you don't get any germs or whatever. So das Ei wird ausgeblasen, and then you have to let the egg dry for a while so the inside and outside is completely dry. What I do then to make handling of the eggs easier, with the larger hole I start putting in a little bamboo skewer, so it's easy to hold and you don't have to touch the paint. And then I take my pencils and I take my watercolor and a little bit water, you don't need much, and with a thick brush I use whatever color I feel like it. Today I feel like orange, so I kind of use the orange color, and with not too much water I stir the color until the paint is fairly thick. So wir brauchen dicke Farbe. When you're happy with whatever paint you have, you just color your egg completely with the base color. And make sure to do it more or less even. It doesn't have to be completely even colored as long as you have all of the egg. A little bit more water, ein bisschen mehr Wasser, and then we color the egg. Make sure the color is not too watery so it doesn't run, so it sticks to the egg. And that's also the purpose of the vinegar at the beginning, because if I wipe the eggshell with vinegar, the surface gets a little bit more accepting to our paint. There we go. Now we have an orange colored egg and all the sides are colored. And now you have to be patient because this paint has to dry. I would recommend a couple of hours or overnight, so it's nice and dry when you start coloring it. And I have some eggs prepared here, and I just put them in my glass as well. This one not, because I want to use this. And so if you put it in an old glass jar, they can dry easily overnight and you don't have any problems with it. So I have colored this egg already yesterday, and now I take a fine brush, and you can choose whatever pattern you want. just make sure that you use paint which is fairly thick. And I have white here because I like to have that white with that purple. So weiß und lila. And this time I just want to have simple flowers. So I just use the white paint and make little stripes of paint, like little stars. And I know they are not very straight, but look at flowers in nature. They are also not always 100% straight. So you can just go and make some nice little lines and star-shaped. Put them on your Easter egg. Make sure you spread them out evenly. And these are very, very simple flowers. So you can also, if you like a challenge, make more complicated ones. So kleine Blümchen auf unsere Eier. And I guess I can have 2 more. And the last one. And now I take a different color, and because I have that dark color here, I might use orange for the center of my flower. And again, I try and have thick paint, not too runny, because otherwise my pattern will run into each other. And I just apply small dots to the center of my flowers. And I have to turn it a little bit. And the last one. And there you go. You already have a nice Easter egg. What I need to do now is, of course, we want to have something to hang up our little egg. So I measure about the length what I want to have for my Easter bouquet from ribbon and cut it off. And that's a little bit a tricky part because it's not easy to have a nice little bow tie if you have nothing to hold it. Sometimes I choose to put that ribbon around any shape, and then I have to start over. So making those bow ties is tricky, so I do this and just make a nice little bow. And tie it close. Have an adult help you if that is too tricky, because it's sometimes really, a little bit challenging. Make sure you kind of close it tightly so it doesn't open up on you. And then I take my egg, and watch out that you don't touch color, wet color. And I just put it back in my glass jar, and you have to watch out that the hole on top is free, that the skewer is not showing. You put a little bit of hot glue on the top and turn it around, and you press your bow tie gently into the hot glue. Watch out that you don't touch the hot glue with your finger because it can hurt. And then you already have your first Easter egg. Okay, so the last step for our Easter egg is to give it a nice shiny surface, because then the pattern will really shine. So I use a clear finish gloss, and make sure you have an adult supervising, and of course make sure you're outdoors while using the spray, and don't use much. So most of the time I hang it someplace. Right now I'm using my fingers, so I have to watch out not to spray them, and I kind of spray each side of that little Easter egg, even the bottom, but make sure not to use too much spray, otherwise the paint will run. And it's always nice to have those eggs then, after you spray them, dry in open space with good ventilation for a couple of hours before you bring it in your house. Otherwise it's quite smelly and not very healthy. But the paint will make the egg nice and shiny, and also it will keep sturdier, so it doesn't break as easily. And then you have a nice Easter egg for your Easter bouquet.